7345 Beaver Creek Lane. I'm also the mayor's chief of staff. I wanted to ask if you could move this to pending, no date certain, but keep the public hearing open for action. I want to explain just briefly why we're trying to do this. As you know, this is a reclassification of the director position in the 911 center to another level, which will accompany a pay increase. We'd also like to have that discussion about compensation for the 911 dispatch workers as well, and have been working our way through an analysis and potential reclass that we'd like to come before you as well. On top of that, we have had some challenges with retention, and we have a couple strategies which will also need your blessing. The point being, it seems a little out of order to consider this one without the other two. Not quite certain when we're going to get it all done, the T's crossed, the I's dotted. That's why I'm asking for no date certain. But when those two pieces are ready, we'd like to move forward with those and the other piece, so you're getting a complete picture of the changes that we intend to make to improve the working conditions in the 911 center.
Seems fair. Thank you for that explanation. Are there any questions from councilors? All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Hoppy. All right. So that's something we can take care of now.
With that, I'd like to make a motion that we delay this indefinitely until they are ready to represent it.
Okay.
I'll second.
Thank you. Carlson second. So Tom Duden, John Carlson, and that it will actually be pending, no date certain. Okay. Madam Clerk.
Bowers?
Yes.
Carlson?
Yes.
Schob?
Yes.
Duden?
Yes.
Beckius?
Yes.
Weber?
Yes.
Washington?
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0.
Chair
All right.
Washington?
Yes.
Might we just make sure that there's no one here in the chamber who would like to speak on this item today?
Oh,
I don't think there is, but...
yeah, I'm sorry. Is there anyone here who wanted to speak on this item today? All right. We will have we'll have a public hearing when it comes back. So, all right. Thank you. Good call. Thank you, Mr. Beckius. All right, Madam Clerk, let's move ahead to ordinances, third reading.
Okay. I'll call item 7A, annexation 25002, application of Fire Ridge LLC to annex approximately 2.82 acres of property generally located at South 98th Street and Van Dorn Street, introduced by Schob.
So moved.
Second.
Second, Carlson. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Bowers?
Yes.
Carlson?
Yes.
Schob?
Yes.
Duden?
Yes.
Beckius?
Yes.
Weber?
Yes.
Washington?
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. Item 7B is Street and Alley Vacation 25001, application of Fire Ridge LLC to vacate a portion of the Tupelo Lane right-of-way generally located northeast of South 102nd Street and Van Dorn Streets, introduced by Schob.
So moved.
Second.
Second, Carlson. Any discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Bowers?
Yes.
Carlson?
Yes.
Schob?
Yes.
Duden?
Yes.
Beckius?
Yes.
Weber?
Yes.
Washington?
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. Item 7C is change of zone 25005, application of Fire Ridge LLC to change the zoning designation from H Agriculture to R3 Residential on property generally located at South 98th and Van Dorn Street, introduced by Schob.
So moved.
Second.
Second, Carlson. Any discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk.
Schob?
Yes.
Duden?
Yes.
Carlson?
Yes.
Weber?
Yes.
Bowers?
Yes.
Beckius?
Yes.
Washington?
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0.
All right. And we have one item for reconsideration under Section 8. Madam Clerk.
Item 8A for reconsideration is reappointing Stacy Bleicher, Catherine Garcia, and Tom Randa to the Lincoln Lancaster County Board of Health of terms to expire April 15th of 2028.
All right. So this item came up for reconsideration. Would the counselor asking for the reconsideration like to present?
Yes, I'd like to change my vote to no for all three. I base this a little bit on the fact that Lincoln Lancaster County had an extended emergency clause that went on because of COVID. At the same time, I don't have anything against any of the three that are on here. I just believe that giving different individuals that opportunity to serve the city of Lincoln, they should have that opportunity as well. And by keeping the same, it's my feeling that we kind of instill that the good old boy syndrome and don't shake things up when maybe just some slight changes can be made. So that's my position.
If I may,
All right.
we're a little out of order. I think that's okay, but we would need to make a motion to reconsider, and then we'll need a second, and then we'll need a vote.
So you're making a motion?
I'm
But-
making a motion.
He's made the motion.
And I've given my explanation.
Yep.
Yes, and
Okay.
thank you. I
All right.
appreciate that. All right, a second.
I will second the motion.
All right, Benny Show. Thank you, Council. All right. So we have that, and we've had a,
Have the discussion.
Now you have
so you've explained.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dudenberg. Ma'am. Any other discussion?
I got some.
Okay, Councilman Bowers.
You know, Tom, I really respect your work and your viewpoint, and I want to make sure that I fully understand the reasoning, especially given the rarity of asking for reconsideration, particularly when it comes to individuals I work with directly. I've served alongside you for the past 2 years, and if there was concerns about your ability to serve or your performance, I would speak up. And as president of the Board of Health, I want to ensure that we have clarity on the record regarding these 3 members and why you're asking for reconsideration. You and I have often been on the lone side of a vote together, and I think that this is a reflection of our ability to work together. I was surprised when I saw this get added to our agenda because I had not heard of any concerns from about any of these members, or that you were thinking about bringing this up. You mentioned that we had an extended emergency clause because of COVID and feel like that we need to have different individuals given that opportunity. Are you questioning the qualifications or suitability of any of those individuals currently in their role?
I think I said no to that.
Okay, just wanted to be clear on that. Do you plan on opposing members on other boards after a specific time if the length of service is one of your concerns?
It depends on the board. It depends on the issues, too.
Can you explain to me what the Board of Health's role is in relation to the Lincoln-Lancaster County Health Department?
Well, I think it's to guide policy and rules that affect the health of citizens of Lincoln-Lancaster County.
So the Board of Health actually is not a policy-making board. It's an advisory board. They provide guidance and expertise and recommendations, but they don't have any decision-making authority. They help inform leadership with insights, experience, or specialized knowledge, but it's up to the main governing body rather to follow their advice or not. You mentioned these voting against all 3 of these in particular. So what can you tell me about Tom Randa?
I didn't have my notes with me, but if I recall, Katie was a dentist, and the one that I felt that was maybe the most qualified was Stacy, and Tom was probably the least.
So Tom has been the executive director of the Good Neighbor Community Center since 2012.
Yes.
He'd worked there since 2007. He progressed from being an IT position to program director and executive director. He holds a degree in business and is highly skilled in program management, evaluation, and community engagement. Tom moved to Lincoln, Nebraska from Kenya when he was 18 and has made his home here in Lincoln over the past 25 years. In addition to his work, Tom volunteers at his church, teaching children and assisting with disaster response through his church. And he's also been involved with different committees within Lincoln Public Schools, which I think really speaks to his ability when we talk about reaching different communities through the work of the health department. What do you know about Dr. Katie Garcia?
Tennis player, UNL.
Yeah, good. Yep, she used to be a tennis player. And just to add a little bit more context, as part of the board, we have to have a physician, a veterinarian, and a dentist, and 5 publicly minded individuals. Dr. Katie Garcia is a pediatric dentist from Lincoln, born and raised here, and she completed a pediatric residency in New York and Chicago, where then she chose to return to Lincoln. She comes from a family of dentists, including her father, grandfather, uncle, and brother, and she has been recognized as a leader both locally and state. She's a diplomat of the American Board of Pediatric Dentistry and holds members in several prestigious organizations, including the American Dental Association, the American Academy of Pediatric Dentistry, the Lincoln District Dental Association, and the Nebraska Dental Society. In addition to being recognized as a leader, her practice also gives back tangibly to the community. Dr. Garcia's practice hosts annually a Give Kids a Smile Day, where they provide free dental care and transportation to elementary students who have been referred from school nurses as having dental pain and not able to get care.
Okay, can I add just something?
Yeah.
I'm not asking everybody here on the board to change their vote. I'm asking to have the opportunity to change my vote.
Right, and I hear what you're saying, and if we are going to have a conversation about that they should no longer be in their roles, I do think it's important that I'm very clear on what their biography is. And the last one that I have is Dr. Stacy Bleicher. She's an experienced pediatrician who became involved in the evaluation of care for abused children early in her career. Since 1997, she's been evaluating children for sexual and other forms of abuse through the Child Advocacy Center, also known as Brave B, where she currently serves as the medical director. In addition to her clinical work, she also works as a pediatric hospice physician and has contributed to several gubernatorial committees, including the Governor's Children's Task Force, the Child Death Review Team, and the Nebraska Partnership Council, where she also served as a consultant for the Foster Care Review Board. So I think that these people are well qualified and not at all in line with the good old boys network, but have a proven record and proven skills that our health department needs in order to be in touch with the community and to fulfill their responsibility. Now, you previously voted in favor of reappointing individuals to the Board of Health. Last year, you voted in support of Jasmine Kingsley, Dr. Dustin Loy, and Jay Jarvis. Can you explain why you might have changed your mind on or stance on these three members specifically when it doesn't appear there's been any indication that their performance have been lacking?
Like I said, I'm here to change my vote, Councilman Blowers. I'm not asking you to change your vote or anybody else's vote here. I've had some contact with constituents. They've had a different view and felt that some changes should possibly be made, and I have to support my constituents just like you have to support yours.
So what happened over the past week? I mean, we had the agenda, we read it, Sony read it out loud.
I made a mistake.
Okay.
I'm trying to correct it.
You know, and I think that like what also adds to, raises up this issue, or why it's kind of, bringing this to front, is asking for a reconsideration is a pretty rare thing that happens. And so that must mean that there must be something serious or significant. And if we're talking about them being part of a good old boys network, I'm going to be very clear on what their record is. They have served their community admirably, and I'm just genuinely surprised that this was brought forward without notice, and to see it pop up in the agenda, especially considering I feel like we have a good working relationship. And if there were concerns that you had, I'm surprised that we weren't able to have a conversation about that beforehand. So those are my questions. I wanted to put that on the record.
James, we barely get a chance to talk about some of these issues when they pop up on the agenda, because we don't know necessarily what's going to be on the agenda from one week to the next sometimes. So I apologize for my incorrect vote the first time around, but in the future, if I have questions about that, I'll be sure to talk to you.
I think I've said all that I needed to say.
Are there any other counselors who'd like to speak? And I think we've got clarity. We have a motion and a second on a request for reconsideration. Councilman Duden has explained why he brought this forward and his reasoning. And Councilman Bowers has had an extensive declaration of the qualifications. Councilman Weber.
Just a point of clarification before we take this vote. A yes vote is to reconsider.
Yes.
And a no vote is not to reconsider the question.
That is correct.
Okay.
We're not voting on the issue, we're just voting on reconsideration.
Do we reconsider this vote or not?
Okay. Just wanted to clarify.
Okay. Was there another person over here who wanted? All right.
Thank you,
So, clarification is good. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll on the reconsideration, on the decision to reconsider or not this item?
Carlson,
No.
Schob,
No.
No.
Bowers, Duden,
Yes.
Beckius,
Yes.
Weber,
No.
Washington.
No, and I'm voting no because I wasn't here last week.
Motion lost. 2-5.
So the item will not be reconsidered.
And what was the vote count?
The vote,
2-5.
2-5. All right. Let's move on to the next item. Madam Clerk.
Section 9 is our resolutions first readings, item 9A through 9C. And Section 10 is our pending list, items 10A through 10D.
All right. I'll take a motion for adjournment.
Move adjournment.
I
Beckius.
will second.
Second,
Carlson.
Carlson. The motion was made by Beckius. Madam Clerk.
Duden,
Yes.
Yes.
Bowers, Schob,
Yes.
Beckius,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Washington.
Yes,
Motion carried 7-0.
we are adjourned.